Hello and welcome. My name is Biagio Mazza, Pastoral Associate here at St. Sabina in Belton, Missouri, and I'm here to welcome you to another Do You Know series question. Today's Do You Know question is, do you know the etymology of the word Lent? In order to understand this, it's important to really go back to part of our history. First of all, during the revision of the lectionary, the Vatican II established two festal seasons surrounded by ordinary time. The two festal seasons are the seasons of Christmas and the season of Easter. Christmas is prepared for by 4 Sundays that we call the 4 Sundays of Advent, and it's celebrated all the way up to Epiphany, and the close is with the Baptism of the Lord feast. The Easter season is celebrated with 40 days preparation, season known as Lent, and then celebrated for 50 days up to the Feast of Pentecost. The name Lent in the English tradition comes from an old Anglo-Saxon word meaning lengthening or springtime, the lengthening of the daylight as springtime arrives. The actual word is lengthen, that lengthening piece. And that's where the Lent tradition, the Lent word has its etymology in English. However, in the Romance language tradition, the word for Lent is actually associated with the Latin word for 40, quadragesima, from which you'll get in Italian quaresima, in Latin, in Spanish, quaresma, and so on in other Romance languages, always associated with the word 40. Now, why 40? Well, 40 is a biblical number. It's a period in which a transition occurs from one phase to another. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights in the Noah event, the Noah flood. The Hebrew people wandered for 40 years in the desert. Moses was on the mountain receiving the Lord's commandments and law for 40 days and 40 nights in which he fasted. Elijah fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and so does Jesus in the New Testament. So 40 days was a transitional period that you began in one phase and hopefully ended in another in a better situation. So that you went from one period, one phase of beginning to a transition that brings you to a kind of closure in which you are drawing closer to God and developing greater your relationship with God. And so that is why 40 days was associated now with the period of preparation for the Paschal mystery at Easter. Because Lent has two focuses, and I'd like to read for you a quote from the circular letter regarding how Lent is to be celebrated, or the focus of Lent. And it says that the Lenten season has a double character, namely to prepare both the catechumens and faithful to celebrate the Paschal mystery. The catechumens, both with the rite of election and scrutinies, and by catechesis, are prepared for the celebration of the sacraments of Christian initiation. The faithful, ever more attentive to the Word of God and prayer, prepare themselves by penance for the renewal of their baptismal promises. So, in light of those two focuses, two themes during Lent, the 40 days for the catechumens, those who are preparing for initiation, are times of purification and enlightenment, where they purify themselves from all that would keep them from Christ and enlighten themselves about what Christ can do for them. For those who are already baptized, the 40 days are focused on a process of conversion, forgiveness, reconciliation, symbolized primarily by fasting and curbing our desires and our wants. And since Sundays were never days of penance, the 40 days are counted beginning from Ash Wednesday all the way to Holy Saturday. They do not include Sundays, so it ends up with the 6 weeks of Lent, which makes for 36 days, plus the 4 days from Ash Wednesday on. So the Lenten fast lasts 40 days from Ash Wednesday all the way to Holy Saturday. However, the season of Lent ends with the Mass on Holy Thursday, just before that, and then a mini season, if you want, kicks in, namely the Triduum, Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and the Holy Saturday, culminating in the Easter Vigil and the celebration of the Paschal mystery of Jesus' death and rising. So that Easter, of course, is celebrated for 50 days, up to and inclusive the feast of Pentecost. So I hope this has helped to get you to know more a bit about the etymology of Lent, why it's associated with 40 days, and how the two lenses, the two themes that run through Lent are focused more on baptismal preparation for those who are about to be baptized and baptismal renewal for those who have already been baptized. So I hope you will come back again to More Do You Know questions to learn more about your faith and your relationship to God. Thank you.